Well, Raw Chef Jane is joining us back in our kitchen today. Always fun to have her. She's a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
got your fun,
nice.
fancy pink on
Well,
today.
you know, it was funny as we were driving here this morning. All of the trees are starting to bloom, and these beautiful pink blossoms are on there.
Pretty?
So I said, you know, I thought to myself, I'm wearing the right color today. So anyhow, we have no time for lollygag.
I know, we have a big recipe today.
I'm making raw vegan dal. Now, many people may be familiar with Indian food and may have had dal. Now, remember, when I create a raw vegan recipe, I do have to kind of make some adjustments to make it raw vegan, because nothing's cooked. You know, I don't cook anything, nothing's processed, everything is fresh. So this is my version of raw vegan dal, and it is quite good. Now and I'm making it traditionally as it is made with red lentils. And these lentils are sprouted. You can see how beautifully they sprouted. They're gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and I'm very, very pleased with them.
The color.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
Very pretty. Now, I've already added to this a little bit of hot pepper and a little bit of black pepper, and I put in my coconut palm sugar. The recipe is on the website, on WJHL's website. And I took some onions, and I cut the onion up last night, and I sprinkled it with a little Himalayan salt, put it in the container, and I shook it up, and I let it sweat out a little bit. Now, this is actually how an onion softens when you cook it. It sweats out, and it gets soft. So that's kind of what's happened to these onions, and you can see they're not quite as they would be when they're fresh. They've softened up a little bit. So I'm going to add my onions in here. You can see they've got a little bit of translucency to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea you could do that. Just the salt. We'll go ahead and break it down a little. Huh.
Yeah, almost like they're cooked.
Yeah.
And I do that sometimes. I'll add a little namashoyu, depending on what I want for a flavor. Like, I didn't want to add the namashoyu for this particular dish because I didn't want that flavor in here. And then I took a couple of tomatoes and I deseeded them and I diced them. And I've also dabbed out some of the liquid of most of these things so that there's not too much liquid, because we're going to be adding quite a bit of liquid to this to make our delicious sauce. So we've got our onion, our beautiful tomato in here.
I love that color. And the tomatoes just add.
This is our lemon juice, garlic, and ginger. So I'm going to put that in here, and way yum on that.
Okay.
And I put that all together so that the flavors would have a chance to meld together, and the flavors of the garlic and the ginger would get into that lemon juice, so everything's coated with that beautiful flavor. Okay, now come our spices. Okay, now traditionally this is going to be a dish that has a little bit of color to it. It's going to be rich and kind of reddish, pinkish, if you will, because we're going to be adding coconut milk to it. And yes, this is fresh coconut milk. So I'm going to take a half a teaspoon of paprika. Now, it is not important that you are doing this 100%. If you want to put a teaspoon in, that's fine. You want to put a tablespoon in, that's fine. You don't want to put any in, that's also fine.
Good.
Okay, but I want to put it in because I do want that flavor. And it's not heavy in flavor to me, but I do want the color in there. So we're going to do that, make sure that that's all broken down.
Okay.
And two of the other ingredients that are very important to this dish are cumin, and we're going to put a teaspoon of cumin in, but I love cumin, so I'm going to probably put a little bit more than a teaspoon in.
And that's really going to give us our flavor.
Well, the cumin and the garam masala will give us the flavor. So there's our teaspoon of cumin, and then we want to put 1 to 2 teaspoons of the garam masala in there, but I'm going to take my tablespoon and I'm going to put a little bit more in, because we can always add a little bit more to it, which it may warrant as well. I've already put some salt in there. I may have to put a little bit more in. And then what we're going to do is add our coconut milk to this.
Okay.
Okay, this is our fresh coconut milk that I've made, and we're going to put in approximately a cup of coconut milk.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at the color.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then this gives it flavor, and we're going to serve it over cauliflower rice.
Okay.
And it's delicious.
Well, we are excited to give it a try. We're going to let you finish mixing it up. We've got the recipe on our website. It'll be posted after the show at wjhl.com. For more on Raw Chef Jane, you can check out her recipe as well, rawchefjane.com.